Hey, welcome to CHUTZPAH. I'm your host, Scott Rubin. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm back. Well, with Passover soon approaching, it's time to talk about this truly great, amazing holiday. I mean, wow, it's like Passover time. It's definitely a lot bigger and more important to the Jewish people than, let's say, Hanukkah, right? The new go-to holiday for any secularized Jew or Gentile to acknowledge the Jewish people. What's that about? I mean, Hanukkah is like a minor holiday in the Jewish tradition. And yet, it gets all the action. All the songs, all the parodies, all the gifts, all the marketing.
Shine on everyone, come together.
That's a Hanukkah card.
A harmonica card?
Somehow, Passover, the cornerstone of our faith, not a peep. Now, if Passover landed, let's say, on Christmas, like Hanukkah, wow, we would have like ginger matzah houses, golden calf earrings at Jared's, and that afikomen. I mean, it would bring a serious amount of cash and prizes. Kids, teenagers would be fighting for it. It's time for the afikomen, right? We got some great prizes this year for everybody. We got a MacBook Pro. We've got an iPhone. We've got the Beats the special headphones the kids are wearing, you know, all that stuff, right? And we got a Range Rover. Okay, everybody on the count of three. Afikomen, go!
It's mine!
Get her!
No!
Kill her! Watch the headlocks.
There's no circulation!
How are you going to drive it with one hand?
I can figure it out! Please get it off! Get off!
I got two hands.
Get off! Oh my god, I found it!
It's Passover time, but I'm not feeling it like it's getting on the radar anymore. I don't know. Sure, Passover lands near Easter, but somehow it doesn't get the marketing spillover like Hanukkah does from Christmas. There's no Pesach version of the Easter bunny. There's no chocolate Passover eggs. Passover needs better marketing. The introduction of like a new garlic-flavored matzah from Manischewitz isn't exactly cutting through like the whole marketing clutter of America, in the universe, and wherever else is out there. Passover's slipping. I could feel it. I mean, you could spend a whole week during Passover and not have a single Gentile friend wish you a happy Passover. And that includes some secularized Jews as well. Why does Hanukkah get to ride the coattails of Christmas, but Passover can't seem to hitch a ride with Easter? It could work. Yeah, they got all those giant communal Easter egg hunts. I mean, forget about having the afikomen at home. I mean, we could turn finding the afikomen into like the biggest event of the year. I mean, like work something out with like Six Flags or Disney World. You know, the afikomen hunt at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Okay, everybody. Okay, we're going to get up the rides. We're all going to look for the little matzah and the napkin. All right, everybody? Come on, it's right there for the taking. Up the prize, you know, forget $10 to find a little matzah, right? And how about trying $1 million? $1 million at Disney World. That would get Pesach some eyeballs. Hey, we're Jews. We've got the cash. Or at least that's what I hear on the street. I haven't gotten mine yet, but that's another episode. Really, I mean, check your local listings. It actually is another episode. Look, we've got to get in with this Easter thing. Special limited time only dishes. You're telling me Domino's can't create like a special matzah horseradish pizza? We need an Easter bunny, passion plays, a chocolate Passover Aaron. I'd feel a little strange eating Moses, but a chocolate Aaron, I might give that a shot. It would even be kind of healthy, right? Because it's like dark chocolate. You know, we're a very dark people. All right. It would be white chocolate. I mean, come on, Walgreens would have a shelf of these. The burning bush salad at Paquito Mas, it's hot and spicy, like when God took out the golden calf worshippers. We've got to start marketing this. Come on. I mean, have just once, like a Pesach Paul's the king of big screen sale. You know, Paul's like the pharaoh of big screen. I'm giving away all 55-inch plasmas like I gave away the Jews. Take them. Just get them out of here.
That's Paul's Pharaoh Big Screen's Pesach blowout sale.
I am the Pharaoh. We are back, and we're talking about the remarkable Jewish holiday of Passover. I don't know what's happened to me, to us. I don't even think about the words in the Haggadah anymore. I just see movie images, really. When I close my eyes and contemplate on Passover, I only see scenes from the Ten Commandments or that like animated movie, Prince of Egypt. What's up with that? Has Passover become nothing more than bits and pieces of Edward G. Robinson's ridiculous 1920s gangster-style acting? Moses, you see? You take too much on yourself. You see? Why does he always say you see? Where's your God now, Moses? Where is he? Huh? That's Passover to me. And Moses is like Charlton Heston. And now that's got into like some whole gun control issue thing, because he was president of the NRA. So it's like a guy with a beard, and instead of Moses' staff, he's got like an assault rifle. Those who live by the law shall die by the law. What's happening to me? This is how I think of Passover now. It's all slipping away from me. It's all like vague and foggy and so 1950s Technicolor. We need the equivalent of like the Passion Play, where like Jesus' death march to the crucifixion is played out all its horrific glory. I need to be jolted back into the horrifically frightening, awe-inspiring moment of the Exodus. Passover's, it's got to be more than just the chopped liver. So I'm heading out to the desert to truly live Passover with my friend Devin. We're going to see if we can make this real again. We're going to give it a shot. All right. Maybe forward. Agua dulce. Agua. Maybe it's one word. No, it is not.
At that point.
I'm itching all over. I'm allergic to any biblical garb. Agua. Any other spelling? Anybody got a? Agua dulce.
This is why we couldn't make it out of the desert. To go that way.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
You can take a left here.
All right. Well, we're wandering. This is part of.
Yeah.
This is part of it. I'm wandering with a GPS.
You have a good look for wandering.
Yes. This is the wandering look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Proceed on I-5 North.
Wow, it's incredible. The GPS. I feel like I'm kind of cheating already, because like they didn't have a GPS, and I'm, heading to the desert, to the Red Sea, and and it's remarkable because I'm already lost with the GPS, which kind of makes me wonder if the Jews really even knew where they were going. Like maybe if somebody led them in the wrong direction, they really needed to divert around the Red Sea, but someone just led them right into the the water, and then Moses had no choice. What were they going to do? Intuitively, they knew it doesn't matter. Just keep proceeding, even though that's the wrong way. But in the GPS, you go on the GPS, right? And you hit it, it's the wrong way, and you're trusting this computer, but you're not trusting your inner voice, the God in you.
Make a legal U-turn.
All right, I'm already...
voice...
While I was pontificating here...
Inner voices don't...
We got lost again. We're lost. Use your inner voice now where Vasquez Rocks is. Like, try to, like where they were, being followed and led, even though they knew there was a sea there. It was Moses or whoever... God was working through Moses and whomever, maybe Aaron a little, maybe there were a couple other guys, Joshua. Am I passing this again? But I'm asking you to use your inner epiphany.
The GPS just had an epiphany moment. For a while, it was telling us to go both ways, both directions.
Right.
It was telling us to go both directions, and now it suddenly decided that there's only one way to go.
So it's kind of on the journey with us.
It's discovered its monotheism, right? Just now, it became aware.
All right, here. Oh my God, it works. It's beautiful, I think.
Your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Our guidance is
We've
finished.
arrived at the desert.
Our guidance is finished, though, Scott. Did you hear that?
No, it's just starting, because now we can only use our inner voice. So this is going to be the duality of our existence today. Do you trust this, or do you trust in this conduit to God's energy, God's light. I don't know, this is going to be a battle today. I'm already burning in the sun. That's the first thing that you have to wonder about, because they didn't have copper tone back then. And yeah, there's a whole SPF that you need that there's no number that exists currently for desert Passover wandering. Why am I limping? What's with the limping? Oh, because I got a staff. I feel like I have to limp.
You're overcompensating with the thing.
How do they do this? How did he do this? And we're running from the chariots. You have to be in shape to carry tablets, and especially God's Word. It takes a lot of responsibility, a lot of sunscreen. Here, let's have a little matzah here. Okay.
I think
There you go.
some carb loading is a good idea. Being chased
Taking
by,
a matzah break from the chariots.
chased by chariots.
You need a little bit of carbs, right?
You know, when you're out in the middle of the desert, the first thing I think about to eat is a dried cracker. There's no condiments, there's no horseradish, there's no peanut butter, there's no butter to put on it. I mean, this is it.
This is the haroset right here. When we're sitting down at the Seder, this is going to be the haroset. We have to imagine this, right? The stone, the...
I'm burning up. I need shade.
What if there's chariots in the shade?
They don't have that on the Seder plate. Shade. They should, because that's something you really, all I'm thinking about now is get into the shade. Get into the shade. You know, how would they show that on the Seder plate? Shade. Just like a little black section?
The cover. They just cover up the Seder plate with a large napkin. A large cloth napkin. There's your shade.
Right there's the Red Sea. Do you see like a gully here? I hope you people can swim. I'm waiting for my spiritual epiphany,
All right.
so I think we better keep
We have to
running
look for
and
that.
walking from the Egyptians.
Well, that's the question, right? Do you have the spiritual epiphany when you're sitting still, through the stillness, and through the shade, the comfort of the shade, or do you have the spiritual epiphany when you're panting and panicked and out there running?
Maybe it comes in the pauses. Maybe the epiphany, you know, when you're panicking and running, it's a little hard to think of anything else. It's amazing that Moses, while he was running and panicking, was able to feel God's presence. I want to get to that point. I brought a staff. I can't. Really? Because I
tired
couldn't. I wouldn't have
Israelites.
made it. You're a runner. You would have been able to make it. But if I was running for my life, how did Edward G. Robinson make it? The man looked like he was probably 50 pounds overweight at the time. How did he make? Was he being carried? What am I saying? I'm not getting any spiritual thing yet happening to me. Hallelujah. Manna from heaven. I get it now. This is anything you want it to be. Hey, you know what? This is how I can eat meat now. Let's even make it not kosher. Pastrami, a Reuben sandwich. Put the cheese on. Doesn't matter. It's manna, right? I can eat it. Real gefilte fish I just took a bite of. This is bocce pizza in Buffalo, New York. Pepperoni. That's pork. A friggin' Dairy Queen milkshake, okay? Me with the spout underneath going, yeah, just the whole vanilla cream custard coming out. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it was good. Since I'm burning up and this is a bush, this is about as close as I'm gonna get, I guess, to the burning bush. I had a little too much of the gefilte fish, didn't mix well with the Dairy Queen. In those simplest moments of our lives are the most profound moments of our lives. I know the bush isn't burning. I haven't been out in the desert wandering, but 40 days or whatever. But I do know one thing. In the quiet, there is peace, and in the peace, there is God, and in God, there is the light. So we move on. We move on from the bush. The Exodus is an incredible story, and there's a reason why Jews don't relive it out in the desert, because it's too hard, and you could actually die. So they've given us the Seder plate and the Haggadah, and they've allowed us to relive it in that way. And I'm grateful, because this is the last time that I run from imaginary chariots in 120 degrees. It's Chutzpah, and I'm Scott Rubin. I'm talking about the truly awesome holiday of Passover. Listen, like just words, right? The truly awesome holiday of Passover is awesome. They say that if you're a Jew, you've actually witnessed, you were there at the Exodus. Imagine that. And somehow, in my family, Passover, it's like get to the meal as quick as possible every year, We seem to be skipping more and more pages and heading right to the macaroons. It's not a good trend. One more generation in Passover and the Reuben family will be eating a bowl of matzo ball soup and reading a couple of tweets from Matisyahu. My wife and 2 daughters refused to create a big meal this year for Passover, claiming it's not their job as women. It's 2013. And I say, but it's Passover. What is this? I grew up where my grandmother and my reluctant mom created the whole meal and experience, slaving away for endless hours, and then when everything was beautifully placed on the table, my dad and the other men would come waltzing in with my dad at the head of the table as if he were some anointed king. And then my dad, he would pull out some coffee-stained supermarket Haggadah and read from the holy pamphlet. Maybe a couple of sections, a couple of quick hits of plagues, quick toss to me for the 4 questions, and boom, we were eating brisket. By the time I was all grown up, his one duty had de-evolved into, well, we all saw the movie, right? Let's eat. But as the Haggadah got shorter, the meal got larger, which meant even more slaving away from my mom in the kitchen. And my mom, she worked full-time as a teacher. The man, he had it pretty good, my dad, huh? And honestly, who wants this world to end when you're a man? Kind of like the South holding on to slavery. Who wouldn't want servants, right? Celebrating the Jewish holidays in our home became our version of the antebellum South, the Reuben Civil War. My dad, a proper Southern gentleman, and his house slaves. My mother and her mother working to exhaustion to create a wonderful plantation feast. 3 entrees and a Seder plate and some cakes. This is the Exodus! Freedom from bondage! It would be like celebrating Lincoln's birthday by having black people over cooking fried chicken and sweet cakes for white people. And yet, I fell right into the trap, expecting the woman to do everything. Hey, it's Passover. What the hell does that mean? Hey, it's Passover. Come on. This is a holiday where the spiritual dimension is about freeing our souls from the shackles that imprison us. And I plan to celebrate this with my wife busting her ass for 12 hours, making every kind of imaginable food without bread. Oh, and we're vegetarians, so she must recreate every meat dish without meat or bread, and then throw in all the other guest dietary restrictions. No soy, no salt, no nightshade vegetables. My God, it's worse than making bricks without straw. And I'll just whip up some, really pithy, spiritually enlightened meaning of Passover. Talk maybe, about 10 minutes. That's, of course, after drinking with the men for a few hours. How did this happen? This is a great holiday, maybe the greatest holiday of all, to free ourselves from the things that enslave us. How about we start with misogyny? That would be a good one, huh? When we return, I have a special plea for Chutzpah fans. Okay, so we're going into our second season of Chutzpah, and although our first season was very successful, we need your help. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of advertisers lining up to sponsor Jewish-themed comedy programming. Last year, we had to cut a lot of corners. There was no set, there was no studio audience. It was just like a single camera with me yapping into it. That was the show, and it worked. But we want to take chutzpah to the next level. What it could be, the next logical evolution. And so we want to get a real set and a real studio audience. And I want to get real Jewish, smart, funny celebrities. Imagine we could have them in a discussion and break into Torah study. We could do it and it could be funny. Instead, we had this. Larry, can I ask one question? Just one question. Quick question. Scott Rubin with Chutzpah from JLTV. I've won. It's a Jewish network. For 10 years. All right. So with your contribution, we'll be able to get a real studio with a real studio audience, right? And I'll be able to do humorous monologues and get real feedback with the right energy. It would be great, Any tradition that could somehow create these guys and gals over the last 100 years, it deserves some consideration, don't you think? Look, Chutzpah needs your help. We can become the show that can provide direction and answers to this Jewish identity crisis. Please give. Come on. Thanks for your support. I can't help it. I'm a Jew. I've got to eat this bagel. Just for the bagels, you got to give.
To become a chutzpah backer, please visit our donation page at http://w. It. Just look at it and give generously. Thank you.